Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining this session. Thank you for investing 1 hour of your personal time to find more about cloud, about AI, and how we should modernize, how we should prepare our cloud solution for AI. My name is Radu Vunvulea, and for the next 55 minutes, we'll talk about AI, we'll talk about cloud, we'll talk about how we can modernize, how we can prepare our applications that are running on top of cloud for AI to ensure that the system can work, can provide data, can process the events that are generated by AI solution, and in the end, how AI can be part of our cloud ecosystem without having an impact, a negative impact on our end solution. Before going forward, I would like to visit myself. My name is Radu Vunvulea. I was born down the school, live and work in a beautiful city called Cluj-Napoca in the middle of Pennsylvania. And in my part-time, I investing time in communities, learning, and in enjoy coffee. I'm also my pleasure MVP, my Art Director. If you want to contact me or to have a chat with me on this topic or on all other topics, feel free to reach me on LinkedIn. Why cloud is important for me is because my journey on cloud started to 2020. From that moment in time, I was involved in projects on AWS and on my Azure. You will see that most examples that I will provide in these sessions are Azure specific, but the same service have a one-to-one there, AWS, or a sister on Google Cloud. There you will find good match on the service that we are talking today in all public cloud vendors. What is my mission? What is my mission for today? Is to discover together with you how the cloud architecture of an AI system should. And now I'm not covering or I'm not focusing on the AI box. That in most of the cases, we are using more or less out of the shelf services. We are just training the model, playing with the models in the cloud, but hosting that service is already done. The challenge is when we're doing the integration, AI component goes in current. How we need to ensure that these two can live, work, bring value to the business. So it doesn't make sense to talk about where is cloud 2024, where will be at the end of 2035, what is the current impact, what is the future. We already know that we are at the beginning of the cloud. Say that we don't even know what will be the real impact in 5 10 years. We just hear different things, not only from the software, also from the hardware. Autonomous cars, it's already here. We already hear about 500,000 robots. We'll use AI maybe in a few years, something like that. So we don't know where we'll be. We need to build systems that can work, can interact, and can communicate in a good way, in a scalable way with AI services. I think that now we're in a phase like we've been with data analytics in 2020. Why I'm saying this? Because I see an analogy in 2020, we had data layer of the system not fully ready for hard analytic part. 25. I find us in the same situation, but not for data analytic, but for AI, for the workload that AI is bringing, the pressure that it is putting on existing systems, on systems that in many situations were migrating, maybe in 2020, maybe in 2022, leave the shift from on-prem to cloud, or in a way that let's push it, and maybe sometime in the future, we'll have enough time to do a modernization or to apply the best practices and well-architecture framework that AWS, Azure. I remember that I was talking about serverless, about computation flavors that can have in cloud years ago, and I was saying that we have 20, 30 different flavors of containerization, of serverless in AWS, different ones Azure and GCP. And now it's just a snapshot of end of 2024 of a part of the AI services that Microsoft Azure is offering. And this is only the beginning. Not only training a model, customized. No. Using AI nowadays means to know to select even out of the shelf plasma service or the service solution that the cloud vendor or third party is providing that is that is solving your need, your problem. You don't need to train a model to do text to speech or speech to text or to do document and text extraction from a document. That's something that already exists. Why not pay as a service or in a different way? The functionality. Two core services that are mostly used, especially when I talk about Azure. We have this bunch of services with extraordinarily good, and we have OpenAI and Azure ML. That of course each of them come with a studio and so on. Why they are relevant? First of all, let's understand a little bit the technical scope. OpenAI is for when you have a pre-trained model, you don't do any kind of customization, you just focus on taking the pre-trained model, you do the integration based on the API, you don't need data scientists, you don't need ML ops, things like that. No training required. You just take out of the shelf and build a code assistance and content generation, chatbot, and like that. They were first. They will say in 90% of the cases, this is what you're looking. On the other side, you have the Azure Machine Learning, where the team that used to work with Azure Open AI Integrated Integration System cannot do too much because most of them might be developers, the infrastructure people, security testers, and so on. Data people. They are great, they are awesome. But when you are using Azure Machine Learning, then you do the training. Means that you need a data scientist. You are focusing only on the model itself. It is a project inside the program. A program might be a full end-to-end AI solution for a specific business stream. One of the components is building all the ecosystem that needs to be around the part, and another team, another project is building the model. Why this is important? Because cloud, we already know it's not only virtual machines. AI, and to have a real impact to the business, is not only the model. At the moment when you start to put an AI service or ML inside your solution, you also need to create a bunch of other services that we'll talk later on today to be able to support this. To expose the data API, to manage the payload, a trigger that they will have that access management and so on. This is what I want to do today. Let's start step by step. What are the limitations of AI in the cloud and the challenges? And I'm not referring here for physical or technical challenges of AI, but the real challenge is do a full integration of an AI component in an existing ecosystem, cloud ecosystem, without or ensuring that you don't have a direct impact on the current business use cases, and to not have or to not create bottlenecks. And also to be able to supply to that AI solution all the resources or the flows that are required to be able to respond to the AI needs. Now, AI comes with a lot of challenges. The security, privacy, bias of AI, ethical consideration, complexity, the technical limitations, the legal challenges, and the regulatory compliance, and of course, how it would impact the work that we are doing to to today. I want to think something very important. Volume and sensitivity of data. Sensitivity of data is not only to ensure that the AI can crunch what is allowed only, but also refer to the person that would use that any service that are putting inside the system would be able to see and access only the information that they are allowed. A very basic example, the database with salaries, the classical problem of HR and financial. And you need to ensure that people can ask, let's say, ChatGPT, and to get data only for or only for financial information regarding the people that they are managing, not of their managers, not of people from different departments. In Excel, we have different ways to do that. In the database, we have different ways. We have to ensure that the same thing is happening where building volumes are important. When we say volume, we're referring that AI needs to crunch data. It is putting a high pressure on system. You need to ensure that your data, your repo, can manage that volume. Going with data, because this is the thing that I want to highlight, is data governance and compliance. A lot of time, I would say small to mid companies didn't to manage and to create a catalog data, to understand what kind of data they are storing, what can be shared with you, who, and so on. And there is a shock. I would say even cultural shock in the moment in time when they realize that we need to create a catalog of our data. Why is the shock? Not because hard to do, it's because of the cost and the complexity is coming with that part. The nice way that I really like regarding job displacement and human workforce is at the beginning of 90s, we used to have people that were throwing stones in your window in the morning to ensure that people would wake up to go in the factories. Think about AI might reinvent the jobs, the workforce. In the end, we will equal. But this is a topic for another session in a different context. Next, together with you, I would like to highlight 5 key areas of modernization that needs to be tackled, needs to be covered, needs to be considered when we talk about putting AI inside easy systems that are running more than 5, but these 5 I want. First one is scalability and performance. Works. We need to have systems that can scale, that can provide to the AI layer all the resources that are required. GPU, for example, or the other type of computation memory. Performance bottlenecks sometimes are for that because the bottlenecks don't come all the time from the AI. Bottleneck be generated because AI is trying to do too many queries, one API, or he's generating too many triggers because event would be if we have an event-driven approach, but too many triggers to some API endpoint. And the system is not able to manage all of them, and we start to see, let us say, we start to see bottlenecks that in the end might create a butterfly or a domino effect. The second thing is the data seal and how you can govern. The governance part we already touched a little bit, data catalogs and how you keep the data secure, what kind of data you're exposing, having the ability to control what you provide to different users and to different environments. Because in a very sensitive industry, you might prefer the bot to respond in a specific way if the user is using a secure device that is part of the organization, and if the same request is coming from a public endpoint, from the internet, from a non-secure device, you might have a different response. Simplified or having your IP. Data shield is another thing. Data silos means that you have data you have reposed in multiple places. Because you have an organization with a lot of departments, because you might have 100 factories, 1,000 factories around the globe, and each factory has their own repo. And if you want to run something globally or across all the organization, then you need to decide how you create a data lake that is ready. It's not impossible. It doesn't mean all the time that you need to copy all the data in place. You should do anything and you should avoid that model AI service to access and multiple posts that are across different locations and so on. And in the end, in the same way, you find solution how to create a reporting dashboard and views that differ at production line, where details at the factory level more the granularity is bigger because you have a factory manager directly looking at the data, and at global level again more more granular with a bigger granularity because you don't want to have all the details. Principles would be applied also for solutions and for the data that is consumed by AI. And now we go to the third one. What is the right balance between innovation and compliance? And what kind of borders to define? From the compliance, from the government's point of view, to give enough liberty, to freedom, to give enough freedom for innovation. There's something that is different from organization to product, but governance is required. But also, at the same time, AI gives you the freedom to find information in different way. And this is from where innovation comes. Finding the right balance between these two is a challenge. The fourth thing is how you move, how you manage the cost of the AI and the full cloud ecosystem. What is the line between sacrificing performance or accept that you have a latency, or maybe the AI system is not aware of everything, but would allow you to keep costs under control. It's, for example, like if you are using your application inside, at the beginning, when you're starting to use it, you say, oh, yeah, I will keep everything installed. And after few days or weeks, you realize, oh my God, application insights cost me almost as much as the computational database. Exactly, this is the context for the performance in the context. And the last thing is about deployment, about agility and efficiency. You have the models, you have the MLOps, all you need to ensure that you can deploy them easily in all environments. You can easily create the full ecosystem that you look for. So, what are the key? Personally, that's my personal opinion, is the key of success of an AI system that is running inside cloud is not only AI. Partially, an important part is about application modernization, ensuring that you're using not the state of the art services and architecture, but you are using the right cloud services, the right approach in the cloud that would allow to have a scalable, efficient system that can work together with AI, keeping the cost under control, and deliver business value to the end customer without affecting other business streams or dimension of your solution. How can be this achieved? From the 5 areas of modernization, we can derive that you're talking about scalability and performance. Features like auto-scaling based on real internal metrics of the systems are knowing exactly when you need to scale for how much. What is the upper limit? When you need to scale down, it's great. If you ever tried to find the right balance of scaling system. When you should trigger the scaling for how long and so on, you already know that this not as easy. And even nowadays, in many situations, scaling decisions are taken manually. You have alerts. Somebody from the support is looking at alerts and decide what needs to be done. The second thing is data integration and management. We talked about data sets. Talked about that we need to wait. On the market, there are a lot of data lake solutions and warehouses. What is important before putting the tree, before putting the AI, is to ensure that not only you bring everything under the same umbrella, but also the data structure is exposed in such a way that the AI service, the AI model is able to understand and is able to crunch. The next component is about flexibility and agility. You need to have the capacity. You need to provide to the team the ability to be able to deliver, to release in different with specific environments, dev environments, testing environments, pre-production again. As easy as possible, the AI service, their ML model, anything that is related to the system that they're building. As you have, for example, the capability to do 10, 15 releases in an environment per day. The same agility is required for the ML models or for the AI services that are working because the team needs to have the ability to test, to see how it will behave on the environment, to get the output, and then to do any kind of modification or changes. Easy to say, much harder to implement. I remember that in 2024 at the beginning, almost I think in the same period of time, February, March, I was saying that yet we don't have the right tool, level of maturity of the tools is not enough to be able to work with AI, to work with AI. Now in 2025, I would say that the tools that we have now available on the market are pretty mature. They're not perfect, but we start to have that development ecosystem that is allowing us to design, build, operate AI services and AI models in production and non-production. When we talk about these tools, don't think about tools that are related to training the model. No. I'm also talking about the tools and the capability to secure, to do data catalog, to do compliance checks of AI and what you're exposing through them. We have nowadays more and more AI solutions that are capable to integrate, are capable to communicate with, let's call them enterprise. I'm referring now to Atlassian, Jira, Confluence. I'm referring now to SharePoint, to OneDrive, because in the end, you don't want to write your own custom integration. You just want more or less to do a drag and drop as you are consuming an API from regarding the train schedule. It's the same thing you want to have an API that is already available from Atlassian or from Microsoft. That is allow you to crunch access information that is available on SharePoint based on your role, based on your grade, based on your that you're part of or office, and create a response specific to it. There are many others that we will touch more or less in the next half an hour. Security and compliance, where I would like to highlight, I would like to highlight policies. Policies, from my perspective, are one of the most important stones of security. When cost efficiencies, and we'll come back in a few minutes to this, are very important. Many people don't realize the real cost and the real impact integrating an AI solution only after taking in production. The running cost double. And at the moment time, there might not be too many options to take action. Interoperability is exactly what we were talking with the example of SharePoint, with the Atlassian. And the last thing about real-time analytics, basically the operationalize of AI. Also about this topic, we will come back in organization. I prepared some services. As I said, I'm giving the example from Azure. You will find the match, the service on AWS and on Google Cloud. I think that are crucial. And indirectly, we touched them in the previous slide. Why I think that they're crucial? Because at least with what we have on the market on on 2024 and the beginning of 2025, they need more or less to be their products or similar products. Most of the products are similar, it's just different implementation. One of the most important one is Azure Kubernetes Service. Any other flavor of organization like approach where you have your own code. And why? One of the biggest problem is the how you manage the work because an inefficient managing of workloads could create issues regarding scaling, regarding latency, and how you ensure resources. You need in the end a solution where when you create a cluster, 200, 500, and you don't, and not all the nodes are the same. You have nodes with GCP capability, with different GCP power, other with CPU, other for memory intensive. And in the whole ecosystem that you're building, you have the capability to specify that workload goes on GCP, on GCU, that workload goes on specific AMD interprocessors, that goes on ARM, that goes on different type. And this gives you the flexibility to the full orchestration that not only improve the performance in the systems, but also you can run them more smooth, more cost efficient. Because in the end, you have a system scalable, you deploy resources, even if they're pretty complex, it's more easy to stick them on the right node type, and you don't end up in situation where you use expensive and very powerful nodes for simple, basic stuff. The second thing is serverless. When I say serverless, for example, Azure Functions, I'm not thinking about running your AI stuff in serverless approach. You could do that. The problem. One of the biggest challenges that a complex AI system can generate is all the events, all the triggers that are generated. You might say, oh, you go to but you might have to fix how you would manage them. You can go very easily on an event driven approach where you have the AI that is pushing events and behind the events and some functions, you have some service approach that is triggered in the moment in time when they are triggered. And then you can scale up or down based on your needs. It's up to you if you run your service in your own cluster or you go in a more service approach and you pay per consumption or in a combination of the two. In the end, you need an event-driven approach plus a serverless approach for ensuring that you can dynamically scale and manage that. Third component that I see relevant is the ability to ensure that you avoid as much as possible. You don't train your AI model and your AI service can efficiently access data as fast as possible to the location where you're running. Doesn't need to do a lot of requests across. This is where a data lake approach is the right way. There are a lot of tools on the market. One of the services that I really enjoy is Vital Fabric. And why? Because it brings under the same umbrella the full journey for a piece of data from the moment in time when it's ingested. It's different transformations tied to them is stored until at the moment when somebody's accessed and based on the catalog what is accessed and in the end archived or is read. Using myself or something similar, you end in a similar approach regarding data access, data transformation, and having a catalog and understanding of what data is stored and who should access different. Now, it's about using data. 3 or 4 years ago, everybody was saying data is gold. And now we can we have the AI that on top of data can extract the value of the content. We want to expose it. Exposing it's not done directly from that AI. Exposing the data require a classical like an API, like a load balancer, usually a balancer if you go with and organize build this application. Because first of all, you want to protect yourself from the people. You need to ensure that you can balance that the traffic, you avoid downtime, and the performance are acceptable. Having a load balancer like Azure Application Gateway gives the ability to manage the latency and to balance the traffic and also protect you from different type of attack. Because having, for example, application gateway, which what helps you? Let's say that we don't have the AI service. You have a API layer that are on top of that, and you have an application gateway. When a web-based attack is happening, all that load it's the application gateway and the load balancer, meaning that the computation available for your business, for your AI model, will remain available for your own use. It will not be consumed by different systems that would protect you from. We are talking about real time. We are talking about streaming events, about triggering different activities. Every event, any other approach of event-based solution is important from two perspectives. One is the ability to allow an AI solution to trigger and to scale up the number of actions that you want to run. Might be actions as looking in a different location, might be action like triggering, for example, closing a door or securing a house. On the other hand, when we talk about AI, everybody's talking about real time, real time. So you have a system that is modifying all the time, then you need an ability, you need the capability to ensure that you are receiving the change updates. To be able to implement a real-time data ingestion system, receive a stream of updates, you would need to go with an investing approach and use a service like Area Event. Because you not only scale up, also you can be aware or your solution can be aware in near real time regarding what is happening around. The last service that I would like to highlight is Copy. Joking. It's about catalog. It's about the data catalog. Because you need to have the governance layer. You need to ensure that you know exactly what kind of data you have, who can access it. If you need to be compliant with different regulations, you need to understand all of this. This can be achieved only through a strong data governance layer, through data catalog. Azure Purview goes hand in hand with different data repos and with different repo Microsoft has, and gives you the ability to do two things, to do the catalogs and to do the governance of your data. Meaning that you can control and you can be sure that the AI service and the people that are using your AI are accessing only the data that they are in the right way. And also you can track the level of data sensitivity that each flow or each person is accessing. Now, Again, for the last few minutes, we already talked about that AI is increasing a lot. The workloads automatically. The cost can put pressure on other systems. It's be translated. But how you can track that? And you need to understand exactly the current spending of your cloud infrastructure versus the business value that it brought. If the business value is high enough, you might not care about that. Your cloud infrastructure doubled, but the business value is 4 times more than before. This is something that you would do. For how you can implement the ability to understand and track and to optimize cost is through principle, where you have three important components: governance, optimization, and strategic alignment. At this phase, I was not able to identify a tool or a service, only one that will say that is covering everything. Well, it's usually a combination. Even the one that are cloud agnostic, even if you have one dashboard, behind the scene they're using one or multiple services from each cloud vendor or multiple ways how they monitoring and stuff. If we split between governance, cost optimization, and strategic alignment, when we talk about governance, we talk about management, we talk about that you gain visibility. You understand what just you have to take. When we talk about cost optimization in the space of cloud, we talk about different ways how you can optimize the spending, like Azure ratios, both instances, different licensing, quotation, but also we are talking about services like advisor, similar to it, that can advise you how you can take different actions to be able to reduce your costs. And the third component is strategic alignment, where tools like Azure automation can give you the ability to have different automated triggers actions that can help you take control of your spending. Now, we talked about we talked a lot about AI, how different solutions should look. I really like this component diagram of interest that is provided by Microsoft. Why I really like this? Because if you take a look and if you zoom this diagram, then there are only two AI. Nevertheless, around them, there are many other services that needs to be configured, needs to run to be able to serve the AI capability that is generated. Yeah. It's not just, and you say, okay, I'm done. No, exactly as when you build a cloud solution, you don't just put a virtual machine on that virtual machine, the workload, and you say, I'm done. No. You need to consider all the other things that are around Azure API management for for the to be able to ensure that you manage the API, you are exposing and you do versioning of the API made of functionality that you're exposing of a solution that you're building. You have web apps or something else when you talk about how you can do some logic around what you're exposing from it daily. There, you need to do access management and to ensure that people can access only the information and the content that they are allowed through your AI system. You have the secret, so you need a key vault or a different flavor of vault. You need to connect because that solution don't run by herself. It is integrated in a full stack solution, meaning that you would need secure connection with your subnet. If you go in a hub spoke topology, then you might have a spoke or you might define something like a sub landing zone specific to how you do the AI integration on specific application or domain and so on. And then things start to get more and more complex. As building the cloud solution is not only the same thing is applicable for AI. Running an AI solution in a cloud is not only about taking an AI service and running. Now, let's go with an example, a very basic one, because I want to highlight what is the process that we should have in our mind when we prepare our current application for AI. Let's imagine a traditional e-commerce application, classical monolithic one, that was posted on-prem and was migrated with success in Azure in a lift and shift. Everybody's happy, you bring business to the customer, consumption is okay, nobody's complaining. That's great. To be able to connect to this, you need to break down the application into microservices to be able to scale and to have better maintainability. You need to ensure that the data storage and the processing capability can support a workloads can scale. You will not affect the e-commerce platform because you just started to use the AI behind the scene. You have implemented all the DevOps practices that are needed to be able to deploy easily the AI service, the models, and so on. You can do some recommendation based on the AI capability for the user. Now, to be able to obtain all of this, you start in a journey, in a modernization journey. If you take a look, for example, on cloud adoption, the cloud modernization patch that is providing AWS and GCP, right? You will find that it's very similar. It is the same route that gives you scalability, ensure data that you have a lake for analytics for AI, for example. The first part that is the microservice architecture. You're breaking the, the you do the modernization of your data. You might go with Azure Data Factory, with Fabric, maybe with Synapse, or with Data Lake Storage. It's up to you, but it's important to do the data modernization layer to ensure that you have more or less a lake, that you have a governance on top of your data, and you have a catalog. They're crucial. You need to streamline the development, the testing, the deployment through demonstrate. And also to ensure that you're using ARM templates or Terraform to be able to build the infrastructure that is required for the fourth thing is you're in the phase when you can start to integrate for AI service. You might go with OpenAI, with machine learning, with Azure Databricks, but it's not only because this is what I wanted to. Here, you start to use AI work, you start to use a web button similar. You put maybe a traffic manager, you start to create. If you remember, if you go back to this diagram, you are starting to build this service. Until at that moment, in all the previous phases, you just created the ecosystem that can scale, that can run with success, the solution. And then you need to think about operational, you need to think about monitoring, you need to take into account how you can have an effective monitoring and how you implement all the practices to be able to track, to be able to improve the performance and reliability. This is a simplified journey, and there are three crucial steps. One is a modernization. Second, AI component with all the other services and factory required around it. And the third one is the operational part, not only of your solution that already should exist, but also of your AI part. Now, if we do a step back and we would have a resume of today's session, I would say that there are 9 components that I would like to talking about. We need architecture. We need to be able to have a dynamic scaling, meaning serverless computing. We need data lake, data catalog, data modernization. We need to implement principles. We need to ensure that also we have an event-driven approach for data processing, for ML models, especially the pre-trained one. We can find a lot on the market and any services. This one might be a good option. Security, compliance are important. And in the end, we need the rise of observability level. What are the final thoughts for for this session? Is that AI is part of our life for a few years, not something that started to. We should expect that AI services will be integrated and will be part of most of the softwares and digital services. And think about Copilot. It's no part of the work. There are errors every time all around us. And to be able to use AI, to be able to integrate, we need to ensure that we do the optimal size of our system. We do the right modernization to be able to handle the workload, the payload AI generated, and best practices that we were ignoring in the cloud space until now, nowadays become mandatory. So, we need to take to be able to ensure that we're building cloud solution that can use, be used, and come to daily services. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. If you have questions, also you can reach me later on LinkedIn. And thank you for the team that organized this event. Thank you for you that you joined. Thank you. Great day.